Good morning. It is Thursday, September the 12th, a special edition of Morning Live. We're at a part of the Hamilton waterfront that very few people get to see. We're being hosted by Hamilton Oshawa Port Authority.
Yeah, I guess we're guests this morning.
Yes, we are.
So this is an area that, yeah, as you say, we're pretty lucky to be able to get a glimpse in what happens here. There's not much happening yet because it's dark out, but there is going to be a lot happening throughout the morning. And yeah, we're going to get a closer look at the Hamilton's waterfronts and the Port of Hamilton. So it houses multiple terminal operations providing storage and transloading of kind of different bulk commodities. There is so much activity that happens here that nobody knows about. So
today we're going to see sugar moving, we're going to see steel, and we're going to see these huge bulk generators being put onto a barge. So it's a whole city here on the water, and we're going to take you behind the scenes because even we can't move around as much as we'd like because it's a very busy area, it's a very industrial area. Also, you know, it's a very safe area.
That's kind of a little glimpse of kind of an overview. And we're going to get the drone up for you this morning too to be able to kind of take a look. We're going to check in with Emily, who is live near the Ontario shipyard. So she's going to give you more on kind of an inside look at some of the businesses around the port. But first, shall we say good morning to our good pal Brian Wood? We brought him along too.
Hi, Brian.
Good morning. I'm glad you brought me along.
Weather.
Yeah. We're looking at fairly hazy condition right now. I'm here at Pier 12, which is what my official location is. I tell you, if I take maybe 2 steps backwards, you're going to hear a large splash because I'm right at the edge of the water.
Let's build up to that. Yeah, let's not do that off the top. Maybe that's the grand finale.
That would be a really great way to start the show. As Brian's dripping wet. Actually, with the relative humidity that we have right now, even my pages are wilting here this morning. So we do have a fog advisory in effect right now. A lot of fog in the area, so be careful driving early this morning. That fog will dissipate as we go on because we got another gorgeous day today. We're going to hit 27 degrees with a humidex about 33 and sunshine. And you know, the sun is going to stay with us for the next number of days. There isn't any precipitation in our forecast right now, right straight through the weekend. It looks like maybe Wednesday we could get a shower, but until then, it's going to be sunny. We're sitting at 15 degrees right now. As I mentioned, we do have some fog in the area, so please be careful if you're heading out on the roads. Speaking of the roads, let's get a check on what's happening on those roads this morning. Here's Steve Reddick.
How you doing, Brian? And as you can see behind Brian there, it's kind of foggy out there, and I don't know if it played a role in this at all, but it's 6:03 on your Thursday. Hey, thanks for joining us here on Morning Live. Let's go down to our camera now, one of our 2 exclusive cameras, and it's very slow coming down along the 403, as you can see here, from Ancaster down through the lower part of the city, moving on into Highway 6 North and also into Burlington. As you can see, 2 things. A, fog. Look at it, lots of fog there. And it is slow. Why is it slow? Because eastbound, which is of course coming towards us down the hill, at York Boulevard, there has been a fender bender, and right now the right lane and the shoulder is closed, so everything is slow. So be prepared for that. And of course, you'll know it'll be backed up at the link in through Ancaster as well. So watch that area. We'll watch that for you to see if that gets closed off soon enough. A quick look down towards Niagara. We do see no major problems out there, and moving through the Hamilton area, through the Skyway Bridge. Traffic's moving along in good shape, but there is a fair amount of fog out there still, so please be aware of that to start the day. We'll be back with you weather in just a few minutes. Let's look at things for now.
Thanks, Steve. Well, 8 people are linked to a major auto theft probe involving at least 40 stolen vehicles. Halton police say thieves reprogrammed key fobs and used an RV to transport stolen SUVs to the Port of Montreal. The investigation started in May after a Toyota Tundra was stolen from a Hamilton home and found in Burlington. The suspects, all from Algeria, targeted new high-end vehicles like Toyota Tundras and Lexus RX 350s parked overnight. So far, 4 people have been arrested. 4 remain at large with a Canada-wide warrant, and 55 charges have been laid. Hamilton City Council was once again struggling with the issue of parking lots in Stony Creek yesterday. The parking lots were at the center of a report by the lobbyist registrar at City Council. In March, the council voted against housing in the parking lots, but Mayor Andrea Horvath used her strong mayor power to push the idea through. It was a decision some residents in Stony Creek and Councillor Matt Francis were against. The report says Graham Cubitt of the Indwell Housing Organization violated lobbying rules with other city officials. But Francis says he also met with the mayor, and when Francis raised the issue in council, the mayor objected.
The mayor met with an unregistered lobbyist with financial interest. Afterwards, she reversed course. Council made its decision. She met with an unregistered lobbyist or had communications with an unregistered lobbyist, and then a decision was made to reverse course and push forward on those parking lots.
I find it, very disturbing that my integrity is being impunged by this particular member of council.
Francis was forced to apologize or be ordered out, but is demanding the council consider this issue again in 2 weeks. Well, autism services enrollments in Ontario have been slowing down over the past year, so much so that the number of kids enrolled has declined despite a growing wait list. The number of children seeking services as of June was sitting at just over 73,000, while the number of children actually receiving therapies was just over 14,000. Some therapies include applied behavioral analysis and speech-language pathology. From May 29th to June 12th, the number of children enrolled declined by 70, and nearly 500 more children were added to the wait list. The province says decreases in the number of children enrolled could be because of children aging out of the program. Well, a longtime Niagara Falls City Councillor and former mayor has stepped down from public office after more than 5 decades. Mayor Jim Diodati announced this during a city council meeting earlier this week that Wayne Thompson has resigned from city council effective immediately. Thompson himself was not in attendance for the meeting and no reason was given. The 85-year-old first served as mayor from 1978 to 1983, then again from 1991 to 2003, and was a city councillor since 2010. The council has decided to waive usual procedures and appoint Chris Dabrowski, the runner-up from the last election, to fill the vacant seat. Well, tensions are heating up between the Conservatives and NDP ahead of next week's return to the House of Commons. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre challenged NDP leader Jagmeet Singh to commit to a vote of non-confidence, urging his party to act quickly. Poilievre said it's, quote, put up or shut up time, pushing Singh to make a decision before Monday's federal by-elections in Montreal and Winnipeg. In response, Singh accused Poilievre of trying to strip away essential services like dental care. This all comes after Singh broke the NDP's agreement with the Liberals last week. Well, more closer to home, Super Crawl returns to downtown Hamilton tomorrow for the entire weekend. The 16th annual multi-arts event features 3 jam-packed days of art, music, fashion, and food with a stacked lineup of performers. Some music acts taking the TD stage include the Rural Alberta Advantage, Matt Anderson and the Big Bottle of Joy, and the Hamilton Philharmonic. You can also catch Louie and I there live, bringing you all the highlights of the event tomorrow and Saturday. There will be road closures in effect in the downtown core as well. James Street North between King and Strawn Streets will be closed starting this morning until Monday at 5 a.m. And York Boulevard between Bay and Houston Streets will be closed starting tonight at 7 until early Monday morning. We begin sports with the Six Nations Chiefs, who had a chance to repeat as Mann Cup champions, which is the Canadian senior men's lacrosse title.
The Six Nations Chiefs repeat as Mann Cup champions.
A dominant third period where they outscored the Victoria Shamrocks 6-1 allowed the Chiefs to repeat as champions and win their 8th Mann Cup title, winning Game 5 of the final 13-9. They were able to do it in front of their home fans at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena and continue a trend of Ontario winning 16 of the last 17 Mann Cups. Well, Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Bowden Francis took another no-hitter into the 9th inning when this happened.
fastball hit to deep right, and it is gone.
New York's Francisco Lindor ended his day with a solo homer. This was a second time in 4 starts that Francis had a no-hitter end on a 9th-inning home run. The Mets would score 6 times in the 9th and won the game 6-2 and won the series. Francis says he feels like he had a good plan going into the 9th, but wasn't feeling his best after a poor night's sleep. Jays have a day off before welcoming the St. Louis Cardinals into Rogers Center. Well, week 2 of the NFL kicks off tonight from Miami with the Buffalo Bills arriving to face the Dolphins, but they're coming off big ratings in the opening week. The league averaged 21 million viewers in week 1, making it the most watched opening week on record. The NFL says the per-game average on TV and digital platforms was up 12% from last year. Overall, 123 million people say they saw at least part of one game this week, the highest total for an opening NFL week since 2019. Both the Bills and Dolphins head into tonight's game, having won in week 1, and kickoff is at 8:15 p.m.
All right, let's check your traffic right now. It's 6:11 on Thursday morning. We do have foggy conditions out there. If we could start, Laura, with that camera along the 403 by York Boulevard there off the McMaster Innovation Park wall there. And again, it's pretty slow through that area. There we see it right there. Coming down the hill from the Ancaster area up at the top by the link, it's really backed up because there's been an accident right at York Boulevard. This is eastbound. The shoulder and right lane are closed, so it's very, very slow. Avoid that area if at all possible. Quick look elsewhere if we can, just down by the Burlington Skyway Bridge. We see the traffic's moving along in good shape. And as we move up into the Ford plant, things, no problem out there at all. So weather not a factor except for foggy conditions, patchy foggy conditions here and there. So please be aware of that. After that's a look at traffic. I'll have some more coming up. We'll update that situation. But now let's go over to Brian and check your weather for the day.
Yeah, Steve, what we're looking at right now is a lot of fog in the air, and the relative humidity right now is 100%. I was just looking at some of the spotlights we've got set up around here. I'm at Pier 12 at the moment, right down by the water, and you can see the moisture in the lights at the moment, and you can see that fog. We have a fog advisory in effect right now. Let's go to our temperatures around the horseshoe, around what we can see at the moment. We don't have any sun, obviously. The sun doesn't come up until about 4 minutes to 7. So 15 degrees for the Falls. We've got 15 to 14 to 11. It is very foggy in a lot of areas this morning. For Guelph and Kitchener, 9 and 11 degrees, and for Halton, Peel into Toronto, yeah, it's pretty foggy. Temperatures 13, 14 to 16 degrees. What we have is an area of high pressure, and it's just off towards the east, and that's going to give us the sunshine once again for the day today. Beautiful sunshine for the next few days. That's the remnants of Francine coming up toward the Great Lakes from the south. Check the temperatures that we're forecasting for the day today. Today, we're looking at 27 degrees with a humidex of about 35. So the humidity is going to be quite sticky for the day today, but 27, 28 degrees. Tonight, skies will be fairly clear. We could get the development of fog once again overnight tonight. We're looking at 15 to 16 degrees, so another fairly mild night. That's above seasonal. And then tomorrow, once again, another beautiful sunny day. Tomorrow's temperature about 28 to 29, even 30 for Niagara Falls. But look at that sunshine, and the sunshine is going to stick around, well, actually for a number of days. And we will look at the long-range forecast coming up in a few minutes for you, all the good news in that. Temperature right now, by the way, is 15 degrees and very foggy, so be careful. All right, we'll look at, as I said, the long range coming up. Tim, Annette.
Okay, thanks very much. It's foggy here by the waterfront.
I'm glad I do have my jean jacket on this morning because I know it's going to be warm this afternoon, but it's a little chilly by the water. So Brian is like maybe just 100 yards to our left, and we saw Brian as we were getting ready for the show. We saw Emily at the station this morning, but we haven't seen her since then.
Now where are you, Emily?
Hi guys, I am on Hilliard Street. I'm standing on the observation deck. Hi. I'm standing on the observation deck here on Hilliard Street, and what you can see behind me, or not, yell really loud like this?
Okay, so Emily was here maybe last week or the week before.
The past couple of weeks. She's been going.
She's been going and shooting some segments that we're going to be airing today, kind of some behind-the-scenes stuff. Because we're the Hamilton-Oshawa Port Authority. It's nicknamed HOPA.
Yeah.
If we want to learn more about that, we are, because we're going to be talking to Ian Hamilton, who's the CEO of HOPA, and what this is all about.
He's going to take us behind the gates.
Oh, okay.
Behind the gates.
That sounds like
right after this.
Let's take a look at some of your business news. The Canadian dollar is up 6 basis points. It's trading at 73.65 cents US. Gold gained nearly $4 and crude is up 94 cents. It's trading at $68.25 US. Checking midday trading over in Europe, markets are up in London, Frankfurt, and Paris. And over in Asia, markets were up in Tokyo and Hong Kong, but slightly down in Shanghai. And in North American markets, the TSX gained over 200 points, the Dow added 124, and the NASDAQ is up nearly 400 points. Well, people flying with Air Canada could run into some challenges in the coming days with a possible work stoppage by the airline's 5,200 pilots. The airline has offered to change dates or allow future travel credits, but Air Canada will not refund on economy non-refundable tickets ahead of time unless the flight is canceled. If a flight is canceled, customers will be notified within 48 hours of the scheduled departure time and rebooked on another flight. The pilots' union will be in a legal strike position as of Wednesday, but notice could come over the weekend. Well, a massive strike at Boeing is looming as 30,000 Boeing workers in Washington state prepare to vote on a tentative union deal today. On Sunday, the mechanics union and the company reached a tentative agreement on a 4-year contract to avoid a walkout. Union leadership recommends the mechanics approve the contract, but union members are not happy with the terms. Boeing did not agree to their request for a 40% pay increase, and Boeing's refusal to restore a pension plan that was eliminated in 2014 is a major sticking point. Union members have launched a series of protests this week outside of Boeing plants, and if they reject the deal, they could vote to go on strike as early as tomorrow. Well, let's look at your news. We'll have plenty more with Tim, Annette, Emily, and Brian at the Hamilton-Oshawa Port Authority coming up next.